manner, and I feel it necessary to state this, because of the ministry being accused of giving negative publicity in terms of to Parliament, when speaking to Parliament, and to the newspapers in reference to the institution. And in my opinion, that has not been done. When called to Parliament, we deem it necessary to answer those questions, and members of Parliament, Mr. Chair, through you, have seen certain questions I've refrained from answering in order not to give the institution that negative light or add to the negative publicity that we're already faced with for this institution. It is a goal of the ministry to support this institution in every means that we can. In saying that, we have submitted several documents. I recently learned, Mr. Chair, from one of the members of Parliament that they did not receive the documents until today, a couple of minutes ago. We submitted an update on the current situation because since September 14th, many changes, well, some changes, some concrete changes have taken place with the various agenda points and some not. So we submitted an update in reference to the situation at the institution of NEPA with some attachments, whereby I informed the members of Parliament about the progress and the outcome of the meeting with the board of NEPA in my letter, September 25th, 2015. As a matter of introduction, I would like to summarize the highlights and the matters of importance that influence the current state of affairs that we're currently facing at present moment. During the urgent meeting requested by Parliament on Monday, the 14th of September, I informed the members of Parliament that there was a meeting to be held with the board of the AVE the coming Wednesday. This meeting took place 2 days after, and due to the extent and the sensitive nature of the meeting, I requested that the ministry does not answer certain questions or fully to the members of Parliament, as the dialogue did not take place yet with the board. I hereby now would like to inform you of what took place in that meeting. During the meeting with the ministry and the AVE board, Adult Vocational Education, Advanced Vocational Education, the primary objective of the meeting was to receive an update from the board in terms of the solutions that the board had taken or did take or are currently taking to remedy the many challenges that the institution faced, and also to establish an agreement between the ministry and the board whereby we would intensify certain issues so that the progress in solving the situation at the institution would be shared expectations amongst the ministry and the board. Unfortunately, during the meeting and in writing, the board indicated, and I believe for transparent reasons, to be transparent, I submitted all documentations to the members of Parliament, not only to be transparent, also so that the members of Parliament understand fully the situation that is currently taking place between the ministry and the board, and also so that publicly certain things might not have to be stated again to give that negative media attention to the board, but the members of Parliament do have the information. Now, in saying that, I do understand, Mr. Chair, through you, that the members of Parliament deem it necessary to inform the public at large. However, there were certain sensitive issues that we preferred to give you in writing so that you're knowledgeable of it in terms of what took place and what transpired between the board and the ministry. The board, when we presented the agreement, refused to sign the agreement and refused to adhere to the 7 points that were in the agreement and the plan of action and the deadlines presented in the agreement. Where are we now in terms of the relationship, in terms of the way forward? I am concerned about certain issues. Some issues we have seen, and every time you will see the members of Parliament receive an update in terms of an additional letter attached to closer to the date of today, only because, not because the agreement was not signed by the board, mean that the work process stopped. Work continued with the ministry and the board in order to benefit the institution.
ABC.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Basketball once again.
LBC.
Check it out.
Yeah.
LBC.
Is it okay to play hardball, get right back up?
That's right. Bring your friends and your family.
Vitamalt takes care of you. And now, check under the marked caps for a chance to win prizes. More detail on press.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guilders real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Well, Live to Lead is a half-day leader development experience, and it's designed to equip you with new perspectives, practical tools, and key takeaways, and to learn from world-class leadership experts such as John Maxwell. He's an international renowned leadership expert. And so persons can be prepared to implement a new action plan. So it's not just about coming to an event. It's about being ready in your mind to make positive changes, to start leading when you go back to your office or to your classroom or to life in general with a renewed passion and commitment. So what will we be having, you ask me? Well, it's half day. So it's from 8 in the morning until approximately 2 o'clock. And during that time, we'll be welcoming persons as they come in for registration, and they'll be having breakfast. So breakfast is included in our price, and networking with other local leaders. Then at 9 o'clock, we will start with John Maxwell himself, Intentional Living Part 1. And he's going to demonstrate the difference between good intentions and intentional living. And this is what he shares. Living your life with intention is key to discovering your purpose in life. So based on his book, Intentional Living, and we're going to have his books there. We're going to have autographed copies of the books. This session will help you learn and live the 4 steps to significance. Identify the one thing that adds the most value to your life and learn how to live daily with the end in mind. And so to tell you a little bit about John Maxwell, he is identified as the #1 leader in business by the American Management Association and the world's most influential leadership expert by Business Insider and Inc. magazine in 2014. And in that year, Dr. Maxwell also received the Mother Teresa Prize for Global Peace and Leadership from the Luminary Leadership Network. He has trained more than 5 million leaders in 188 countries. So you know he's no stranger to leadership, right? Then we have leadership lessons. And these lessons, we're going to be looking at the qualities and attributes of strong and effective leadership from a proven successful COO of Microsoft. That's Mr. Kevin Turner. And what will be happening is that he's going to be reflecting on his leadership achievements, and he will share how he has motivated his team, focusing their drive on the company mission, what he sees as important leadership attributes, how he connects with his team members, and what he's had to give up to go up in his career. And something about him, he leads the company's global sales, marketing, and services organization of more than 47,000 employees in more than 190 countries. And under his leadership, the sales and marketing group delivered for Microsoft more than $78.6 billion in revenue in 2013.
This is the new way we do control of pump nowadays. You see, this is a soft starter. Okay, the word says it all. It's to soft start the pump so we don't have spikes in the water pressure. This is a frequency control drive that is to control the speed of the pumps. It's also to maintain a constant pressure. You see, the biggest problem that exists with the water is the quality aspect, and the quality means quality from the safety, chemical point of view, and quality of the physical, which is the pressure. The pressure is what damage pipes and damage water appliances like water heaters and those kind of things could damage in the house. So now, this what you see here, this is a high density polyethylene. HDPE in English, HDPE in Netherlands. Okay, this is a distribution pipe. This is for the secondary lines. Okay, this is the valve that we use on this pipe to control, to open and close the water for these distribution secondary pipes. This device is a pressure reducing valve. Okay, what this does, this of course is connected to this. This is the device that controls the pressure on a street, on a road, you know. So the people, let's say Canegita, the whole of Canegita here, this side of Canegita is being pressure controlled by a device like this. So you understand? So GD sets the pressure at maybe 3 bars, 4 bars. That is more than enough to have pressure. And this device, the job is to keep that pressure constant. The flow will increase, the flow will decrease, but it's going to try to control the pressure and not to have spikes, because the spikes is what damages the pipes.
Now for the water meter,
we come with the pumps. This is a small motor that we use in a pump house. Okay, this is of course a breaker that it falls within this family. Okay, we come to the family of the pipe, valves, pressure control. Now this, what is this? This is a device, we have several of them. This is a leak detection device. So when we have a leak, this is a very powerful microphone. This is a ground microphone. Okay? With this we can pinpoint within a radius of inches, okay, the location of a water leak. Even though the water could be showing up somewhere, that doesn't mean that the pipe is passing there and the water leak is there. The pipe could be 10 meters away, 20 meters away, which has happened in the past. So with this microphone and the headphone set, we can pinpoint exactly the location of a water leak. Okay? This small device you see there, okay, I'm going to show it to you. What is this? This is part of the new innovations that we have in our water network. Let me show you, let me ask you a question. Mullet Bay, you know where Mullet Bay is? Mullet Bay is over there behind Sherry Cafe and Maho. So in the past, a few years ago, if we wanted to know how much water we had in Mullet Bay tank, what we had to do, jump in the truck, drive all the way to Mullet Bay, check the tank level, and then come back. Now, if we're talking about now, that's about 1 hour, right? Okay, I'm gonna show you, we have a device like this installed at Mullet Bay tank. Okay, and I'm gonna show you what is to read the water level and the Mullet Bay tank. Okay, so I'm just gonna call this device, which is installed in the Mullet Bay tank. Okay, and I'm gonna ask what is the tank level. So I already calling. S is question mark. You see? Let's see how many seconds. Usually it takes like 20 seconds. So let's see how fast I can drive to Mullet Bay and come back. Well, I drive very fast, okay? Look, in 20 seconds, I drove all the way to Mullet Bay and came back. Look, and you see, and this input 3, it says what? 37, right? That means that the water level is 3.7 meters in Mullet Bay tank. So it took me 20 seconds to drive from here all the way to Mullet Bay, read the tank, and come back. And I didn't use a single drop of diesel.
Posting all the information on our Facebook site, Positive Foundation. So go to the page, like the page, send us any queries, questions that you may have. but also pay attention to the postings and of course take advantage of the opportunities, the screening opportunities that are made available by our medical community, and definitely participate in all the events that we have coming in October.
Also want to say thank you to many volunteers that are going to be helping us throughout the month. As you know, it is a very extensive month. Also want to say thank you to all the sponsors and our family members who are always supporting us to put on a big month like this. They always help us. So they always ask us, so who's doing this? And I say it's just the three of us, three little ladies in the community putting our energies and our efforts to bring on such an extensive program to the community. So again, we urge all women, sisters, grandmothers, anybody, come on out. And men, you're welcome too, because we know that, you know, breast cancer does affect not only the woman, but a whole family. So come on out. October 1st is gonna kick off with a pink sale, and it's gonna be a wonderful, wonderful month of pinkness everywhere in St. Martin. And get checked.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas really easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
October the 1st, which is tomorrow, Thursday, October the 1st, being the International Day of the Older Person. And it is a unique day because for a number of years, this day has been set aside to bring awareness, and also not only awareness, but to take stock of what has been happening with the elderly. The sustainability of the elderly, I think, is one of the most important factors that is also being looked at. And in this respect, I feel that as president of the chamber, there is a gap that needs to be connected between the actual persons in the world of work today and the persons that has now, and we now refer to as the older person. But the awareness is that a lot of young people do not realize that every day they are aging, and pretty soon a number of us would also belong to the group of the older person. So if there is no stock taking, if you do not really make sure that the well-being...
This day, which is actually, from the one hand, a day to recognize achievements of older persons for society, what they have meant for society, but it is also a day where you have to reflect on what is it that society is doing with older persons and the elderly in the society. So in the, I must say that addressing this issue of well-being of older persons on this day, October the 1st, it's 365 days of the year we want it to feel well. We want it to be well. And this is one of the challenges throughout the Caribbean region. The first report of the Secretary General to the General Assembly of the United Nations in 2011, for the first time, among what was happening with older persons, addressed the rights of older persons, that they should get equal rights in the society. And it was there that the Secretary General had to inform the General Assembly that all over the world there are 4 major challenges for older people for their well-being. Number 1 is poverty. Number 2 is discrimination based upon their age. And the third one is violence and abuse. And the fourth one, the lack of specific measures and services for older persons. This was 2011. And then, of course, you want to know, so what is that in it for us here in St. Martin? As St. Martin is part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, in the United Nations, it is the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And we just heard this week, the King of the Kingdom went to the United Nations to address them, to lobby for the Kingdom to be part of the Security Council next year, to bring peace in the world. But actually, when you listen throughout the whole speech, to keep poverty in this part of the Kingdom and the world. Because no word about the well-being of this part of the Kingdom. It was this morning that in the news, the Netherlands has been rated as the 6th country in the world as far as well-being of the citizens is concerned. It has been rated as one of the richest people in the world. But we, as part of this kingdom, we can tell you that this is not the fate of the people and of the older persons in this society.
We believe that poverty is a cancer, and we are experiencing what we are experiencing at the moment happening in Europe, with the exodus of people fleeing from Syria and those places. The reason our seniors cannot flee is because they are already here, and some are bound to wheelchairs, and some are so poor that they cannot even dare come, and we need voices such as ours to speak on their behalf, and that's what we're doing. In this society, there are so many homes that are living below the poverty line, and as advocates, we are the ones that are here bringing this plea to both government and to the society to let us pay serious attention to what is going on in the society. We look at all of the luxury and all of the good things that is happening here on the island, but throughout, if you look in the eyes of the youngsters and many that lives in the society, you'll notice the suffering. We can take note of today's newspaper that there are 15 person that has gone home and is added to the poverty problem on the island. Now, because we are employed, we will say that it hasn't happened to me, but homes are being affected, our seniors, youngsters, and so on. And that's why we are taking this very serious. We're making an appeal on our officials, especially those in Parliament and the executive body, to listen to what we are saying, because we connect directly with the society and we know the heartbeat. And what we're bringing here is not because we feel that it is important sitting before your cameras, but because we know that definitely if we can liaison this message here, we can avoid a lot of ill situation in the society. As NGO platform, the Sept United NGO on the 25th of February was in Parliament, and whereby we presented and we plead with government to take seriously in creating a vision for this country. Because what we saw is that St. Martin was just driving on autopilot, that the economic policies of the past were coming to an end, that the social ills in the society are all as a consequence of the old model. And if due attention is not given, we will have serious problems on our hands.